What is up guys, it is a new day and today I'm going to detail this Salvage SUV and replace its air filters and also start prepping it for paint. If you remember, I have exactly 3 more days before my wife moves in here from Dubai. And in the previous episodes, I did a complete front end repair, installed the new bumper, as well as repaired all 4 brakes and tires, and all of this completely by myself in just under a week. The next episodes are going to be so much fun because I'm gonna attempt to paint the whole front end all by myself at home without any special tools and get this car showroom ready. Currently, the car is in a miserable condition and I think the previous owners never took this SUV to a proper wash since their purchase. So I'm gonna wear my gloves and start cleaning the car, and as soon as I'm done with the large garbage, I can start vacuuming and steam cleaning. The objective now is to detail the car to a clean condition, so let's get to work. Check this out, the interior looks so much better compared to before. I am happy with the results, so now let's move to the next. Alright, the car is coming together and the only major thing remaining is the broken windshield that needs to be changed. I have an appointment tomorrow to get it done. So now before I put in the battery and the engine air intake box, I need to install this Hyundai block heater that was removed from the car, and this is its original OEM cable that needs to be extended from inside, and it just hangs out from one of these lower grills, and I'll figure that out later at some point. And after I'm done installing the block heater, I can go ahead and install the engine air filter and the cabin air filter. Alright, so this block heater sits inside this area here. As you can see, there is some debris right here, the white ones on that hose right there. So that area is where I'm gonna have to install the block heater. This hole right here, that's where the block heater should sit. If I just slide it in, it should just sit in properly. But for now, I'm not gonna push it in much before I put in some dielectric grease. So I'm gonna use this dielectric grease to grease up the surface of this block heater so that it doesn't have any resistivity to conduct heat to the engine block, because the whole purpose of this small device is to keep the engine block warm enough so that the oil and the lubricant inside don't end up freezing in minus 40 degrees Celsius temperature during the winters. All right, I think that is good enough, and I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it thoroughly so that it's all over the place. There you go. Before I insert this in, I want to go ahead and plug the cable so that I can navigate the wire internally. All right, the block heater wire is installed now. So I'm just gonna finalize the location of the wire. That should ideally go behind the battery from here. I'm gonna zip tie it securely and stick out this end of the plug underneath the lower grill of the bumper. And before that, because this is an electrical item, I need to ground this. Here's the wire from the previously grounded block heater. So I'm just gonna remove this wire from here. And this is a good grounding position because it's connected to a metal of the car, and this should be good for grounding. I'm just gonna remove this one and replace it with the new one. All right, so block heater wire is done. I'm gonna figure out where to relocate the wire behind the battery after I install the battery, obviously. So now I'm gonna go ahead and clean this air box that I took off from the car in the beginning. So I'm just gonna give this a quick wash so I can clean this up before I install it. Alright, air intake box is now installed, and this was the air filter the car had before. It was eaten completely by rodents, and there is no way I could continue using this anymore. It would be very harmful for the engine because it would block the airflow. So I'm going to throw this out and install this new one. Alright boys, moment of truth. I'm gonna go ahead and connect the negative terminal of the battery. I also did have to disconnect the airbag sensor and then put it back in, so I'm kind of nervous. Let's go ahead and connect the negative battery and try to turn on the car and see if there are any check engine light or any kind of errors. Bismillah. It's a cold start, so RPM looks normal. There's no check engine light for now, so I hope, fingers crossed, this stays the same. Let's go to the front and see if there's any kind of smoke from anywhere for whatever reason. There shouldn't be, but I just want to make sure that there isn't. And check this out. This is my first time seeing the fog lights working. All right, so the RPM came back to the normal operating temperature. Looking good so far. So all the LED lights work. The daytime running light on the headlamps work, as well as the one on the fog lights also work. And it will definitely look much better when I put on the new grille. Alright, now it's time to replace the cabin air filter. And to remove this tray, I have to unscrew these plastic tabs on both sides, and it should come out just like this. Here I can access the filter tray, and as expected, the filter is very dusty. Compare this dirty filter to the new MotoMaster filter, and look at the difference. Now I can put it back the same way I took it out, and that's how you change the cabin air filter on your new Santa Fe. I finally got the windshield replaced by a local shop, and it looks phenomenal. This is a laminated solar windshield and it is as good as the factory ones. Alright guys, that is it for today, and tomorrow I'm gonna start prepping the car for painting, and I'm gonna do the whole painting process by myself right here at home. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you on the next one.